really a pleasure to introduce our next presenter. Julianne Moore is going to present a Research in Action Award to Sally Morrison. Now, Julianne is the star of this year's thriller Blindness. In 2003, she was nominated for a supporting Oscar for her role in The Hours, as well as in the lead category for her role in Far From Heaven. She's been on Entertainment Weekly's list of the 25 greatest actresses. I'm sure she's on many lists as being one of our greatest actresses. And I love this. It says she was chosen as one of People Magazine's 50 most beautiful list. Y'all, would you please welcome the beautiful and talented Julianne Moore.
I'm exhausted. That beautiful list is difficult. So I was talking to my friends Scott Campbell and Sally Morrison about, I said I'd just seen Milk, and it was so inspiring and reminded me of so much stuff, particularly of protesting in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral in like 1986, 1987 with ACT UP. And I said, what the hell happened to those guys? And Sally said, they turned into TAG. And I was like, all right. Really cool thing to hear. So anyway, I'm so honored to be here tonight to talk to you about my extraordinary friend Sally Morrison. Now I think all of you probably know her history, but I'm gonna spew it out. In the mid '80s, she began first as a volunteer and then as one of the founding staff members for the American Foundation for AIDS Research. She served in many important and critical capacities at AMFAR. Helping to develop and expand the important role of this organization in battling the AIDS epidemic in the United States and all over the world. And she was with AMFAR for 14 years, where she developed fundraising and public affairs activities for such AMFAR spokespeople as Elizabeth Taylor, Sharon Stone, Matilda Krim. And then in 1998, this was mentioned earlier, Sally and her husband, AMFAR program officer, activist, and longtime AIDS survivor Paul Corser hosted a benefit for TAG in their home. And Paul died in 1999. But then Sally joined the Treatment Action Group's board of directors, where she served for 6 years. And basically, I mean, what I've been led to understand is that she really, really brought TAG to a whole different place by bringing in new board members and a host of donors and teaching them innovative fundraising and event planning, and kind of made it what it is today. And she continues her advocacy work from her current position at the Diamond Information Center, where she manages public relations activities on behalf of the Diamond Trading Company, the sales and marketing arm of the De Beers Group. And anyway, her passion and commitment to ending AIDS is inspirational, and she has never, ever wavered in her devotion to this cause. I admire her deeply for everything she's done, and I am so very proud to be her friend, and I am thrilled to be presenting her with the Research in Action Award. So my friend, Sally Morrison. And her son,
Thank you. Everybody knows that Julianne Moore is the most beautiful list, and that she's a fantastic actress. All true, but I think she's also an incredible person. She's been a great friend to me, often in quite challenging times. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming out on a Sunday night. It really means a lot to me. I wanted to thank Scott and Jane for agreeing to chair this event. Back in the summer, when Barbara Hughes asked me if I would agree to do this, I said, well, if we could really raise a lot of money, I'd be willing to do it, but preferably more money than had been raised before, because I'm slightly competitive. And I couldn't think of anyone else to ask except my friends Jane and Scott. So thank you very much, Scott, for doing this. He has a full-time job fundraising for other organizations, including the Elton John AIDS Foundation that he leads, and it's a big deal to do it for other organizations, so thank you. And thank you to Jane. Thank you to Jane, who, as you heard before, sadly couldn't be with us this evening, and We all send her our love. We miss her. We wish she could be here and get better soon, Jane. There have been a number of really significant donations tonight. A lot of people who are very dear to me have given a lot of money and gone way beyond the call of duty, but I'd like to recognize a couple of things. First of all, thank you to the Elton John AIDS Foundation for a hugely generous grant, which really got us off and started this summer. And I'd also like to acknowledge all the help from the De Beers group. I'm really, really proud to work now for an African company that has really made a fundamental commitment to the fight against AIDS. And I want to talk about it a bit because I think most people don't know about it. And most people probably feel like some of my friends when I took this job and somebody said to me, "You sold your soul to the devil." And it wasn't a good start. Anyway, you may or may not know that De Beers was the first mining company in the world to give free antiretrovirals to all their employees. And conceivably was the first multinational to do it in Africa too. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal because it's more than putting money into buying drugs. It also necessitates constructing a voluntary counseling and testing program for employees to create medical infrastructure that allows a safe delivery and monitoring of those drugs. And of course, the creation of an environment where people feel comfortable to come forward and enroll in the program. And I have to say, as someone that's been down to Southern Africa to visit operations a lot in the last 6 years, I really feel that it's important for you to know that for De Beers, HIV/AIDS is not just a CSR thing or a philanthropic thing. It forms a fundamental part of the overall business strategy. And actually, in sub-Saharan Africa, that's the way it has to be. So they're really doing good work, and they've, I think, gotten a bad rap for a long time. For other things, too. I'm really happy to support TAG's work. Advocacy to ensure that the right science is being funded, that money isn't being wasted, and that access to the benefits of science is equitably available to all people, all tremendously important things. I really believe in science for the benefit of people. In many ways, Toby and I wouldn't be here without science. It got us to a place where I was able to have a healthy child and be healthy and with an HIV discordant partner. So it's a big deal. I also have to say, I feel a little bittersweet when I hear about new advances in treatment. I'm incredibly happy for all those people whose lives have been extended, incredibly happy, and it's a great thing. But I'm also a little sad because I know, actually, things have moved so fast. If Paul had become infected a few years later, he probably would be alive today, and we miss him. We miss him every day, and I'm sure many of you miss him too. However, in the middle of a tremendous economic crisis, and Mark spoke much more eloquently about the situation we find ourselves in now at the beginning of the evening, even in the middle of all this, I feel strangely hopeful. On the eve of a new presidency, I'm optimistic that this next administration will be able to finally accomplish many of the things that we've all dreamed of for so long. An integrated and comprehensive national AIDS plan for HIV that addresses the needs of minorities and other disadvantaged populations. And of course, finally, the lifting of the national ban on the needle exchange.
There you go, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.